monthly meeting for the Florence Board of Commissioners for the Housing Authority of Florence. And we'll begin with our roll call from my left.
Wanda Marine, Commissioner.
Angela Lowry, Commissioner.
Dr. Alfonso Bradley, Executive Director.
Calvin Robinson, Commissioner.
Linda Barr Williams, Commissioner.
Joseph Dickey, Legal Counsel.
Ron Scott, Legal Counsel.
Jennifer Manning, Deputy Director.
Jamie Sullivan, Executive Assistant.
Okay. And our finance young lady over there. State your name.
Catherine, back there, start with Catherine.
Catherine, outside talent.
Brandon Wilkerson, APRIO, Auditor.
Okay. Okay, now visitors. Sir.
Victor McFarland, Justice Control.
Okay.
Jim Smith, Town Control.
Sudan, thanks,
All right, welcome to everybody. We thank you for coming and joining us. And Linda, would you like to open us up in prayer?
Yeah. Let's bow our heads. Oh Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for waking us up this morning, closing our right mind. We thank you for being so good and so kind to us. Now, as we conduct the business of the Housing Authority of Florence, Lord, let us conduct good business, do it the right way to provide for the people, your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And we'll ask you all to stand and join us as we start off with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Sorry about that, brother. Oh. All right, so you have the agenda before you, commissioners. Under Section 4, Item C, approval of RAD conversion for Parkview Plaza, that's going to be moved to executive session. And then under Section 6, Item 6, Section C, the finance report, we're going to have our auditor do a presentation. And Doc, you said you're not going to do our Item Delta?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so we'll scratch Item Delta, but we'll spend time listening to our auditor, and then you see the items listed on the executive session. And then after we finish with the executive session, we'll come back in. So if all hearts and minds are clear, I'd like an approval of the agenda, please.
I make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
I second that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, also we have approval of the minutes from our January 27th and January 29th meetings. Do we do those one at a time, or can we do both at the same?
One at a time.
One at a time, okay. Can we begin with January 27th? Motion, please, to approve.
I move that we approve the minutes of January 27th.
Okay, have a second?
Second.
Are we ready for the question?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Then we have January 29th.
I move that we accept the minutes of January 29th, approval 2026.
And we have a proper second. We're ready for the question.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you so very, very much, beloved. All right, Dr. Bradley, under unfinished business, old business, we have items Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie.
Yes, sir. First of all, I want to talk about the Oakland Place and Churchill RAD updates. Both projects, even though they're separate projects, we're and our development partners are submitting all of the application items to HUD right now. to be reviewed and approved by HUD as we move forward with the RAD developments for Oakland Place, which is Dr. Oliver D. Jones, and Church Hill. We are almost at the point where we're gonna have the finance, have the meeting held about the finances. First is the conference call, and then we'll have the finance after that. And then after that, we have to, of course, get back and inform the residents of what's going on again. And then, but closing is scheduled for Oakland Place in September of this year. Closing for Church Hill is scheduled for October of this year. Both projects are really ahead of schedule. And I do want to mention, I guess commend the City of Florence engineering department because and I have about 3 calls a week with the RAD development team and our consultants and everything, and everybody is really singing the praises of the City of Florence's engineering department and how closely they're working with our RAD development and the engineers with that. There's on Oakland Place there's a drainage project that the City of Florence has going on right now, and it is directly in the middle of what we're doing at Dr. Oliver D. Jones Apartments, and so they're working together to tie everything together to make sure that's going well. And so I just wanted to mention that because I'm hearing it so much in the calls, how well they're working together, and so I just want to let y'all know about that. But everything is really ahead of schedule,
Okay.
and on course for both Oakland Place and Church Hill.
Very good.
All right. Item B, Creekside Village Apartments. We are the fire inspectors and the City of Florence inspectors. I tell you, they're going through with a fine-tooth comb, and we're really at the point now where, in terms of the City of Florence inspectors, we're right at the end. They have not issued the CO yet.
Okay.
But they send their items that need to be done, and we are down to basically a handful of things with them. Okay, now with the fire marshal, they went in the other day, and where they're at is the pull cords for in the room in the apartments. So if you what a pull cord is if there's an emergency, somebody. We're dealing with elderly people. The whole building is going to be elderly, and they pull the cord.
Yeah,
and
sick in the bathroom or something like
yeah,
that.
that lets
Somebody know.
someone know. But those pull cords have to be coordinated with the the system of alert system, and so right now, the fire marshal told us that there's some little issues with the pull cords right now, so they're working on that right now. And then after all of that is settled, then the fire marshal comes back in. And they test everything from the emergency standpoint. Okay, so all the plumbing and stuff has already been tested and dealt with. But now we're at the pull cord and the emergency system testing. And once that's done, we should be issued. And I'm really thinking, Jennifer, we think this week we should be finished all that stuff.
Really?
Even though we had Monday off, so that took a day away. But so Johnson Control actually is the one who fixes the pull cords. We don't do that in-house. That Johnson Control repairs and maintains the pull cords. So that's something they're doing. That we have a consultant that's doing that.
Okay.
So all that's going on, and that's pretty much where we're at right now with Creekside Village Apartments.
So we anticipate a CO sometime next week or the following week?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Definitely we should have that next week.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. And so item Charlie will move to executive session.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then section 5, new business. Wait, hold on. Any questions? I'm sorry.
No question.
Okay. All right.
Okay, in your packet, starting on page 16, let me go there first because that was in there back in June, remember, of 2024. So it's been a while. But HUD has, decided that they're gonna come and do, compliance audits, monitoring audit, reviews, of all housing authorities. And with us being one of the largest housing authorities, of course, we were one of the first ones that they came to review. And what you see starting on page 16, basically, the entire field office from HUD came down. And remember I told y'all that they came down and did a comprehensive compliance review throughout the whole housing authority. They stayed a whole week from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 in the evening for 4 days, and then on Friday they stayed to 12, and they went through everything. And the things that they felt like we need to improve on is included in this, the findings. You see all the findings there. And then we submitted a corrective action plan, which you see the corrective actions there and the dates.
Excuse me, Dr. You said page 16.
Yeah, 016.
This one, my dear sister.
No, you can
I'm looking at
audit.
the audit.
The audit.
Yeah, so, and I do want to mention that too, because I think I can understand how we're getting some audits confused a little bit, because this is what HUD audit right here,
This is the audit
that HUD did.
that you're going over now.
Yeah,
Not
what I'm
the
going
audit
to
that
the one
was-
that HUD did.
Not
time
a
ago.
financial audit,
Right.
an
Not
audit of procedures.
not what our auditor did. This is a HUD audit right
Got
here.
it.
And I'm going, the reason I'm
2024.
for
Correct.
2024. And the reason I'm going through that is because there's some issues that we're submitting to HUD, our plan for closing the findings. And 2 of those are on the agenda today. And we get it approved for HUD first. And then after HUD say, okay, yeah, that's fine. Then we bring it to y'all. And there's 2 of them are on the agenda today. That's why I'm going through all of this right now with y'all, kind of bringing you back. I don't mean to confuse you, but I know it can be confusion, but
I'm
confusing.
sure I wasn't the only one looking at that.
Yeah, it's very easy. I mean, I deal with it every day. That's why we can understand. But yeah, we're trying to make it, kind of give you the background on there, and you'll see in there on page. Oh, I got it. Well, actually, don't look at that. Seems like 1, 2, 3. There's 2 of them highlighted. Those are the 2 that's on the agenda today that we need y'all approval. The annual inspections, where we hired someone to do the inspections for us, and HUD approved them, so we gotta get y'all approval that it's okay for that person to do the inspections for us. And then the Ross one, where it was a finding about our Ross coordinator position and some of the partnership agreements and having those files. And so we got HUD approved it, and so now we're gonna bring that before you. Okay, so now let me get back to the agenda again. So on new business, this resolution, which is on the first one there, right after it's on, it says 14. This resolution addressing the PHC annual inspection compliance and Ross grant monitoring.
That's page 23. That's page 23, not 14.
Well, this is a resolution right here. 14 is the resolution. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm looking at 2 resolutions in here. A resolution authorizing the conversion of Parkview Plaza from the public housing program to the rental assistance demonstration
Excuse
program.
me, you're correct. You are correct. We're not dealing with that right now.
Right, but
doing
you
that
told
right.
us to go to 14.
I'm sorry. It's
And
23.
That's what I thought.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
I went to South Carolina State, we read.
That's right. That's right, sir.
I'm just kidding.
That's
All right,
okay.
23.
Yeah, so that's the resolution there. We'll basically, what it basically just says is that y'all gonna approve for us to use this, to use the plan that we have for inspecting and closing this finding in the 24 HUD review. And so,
Which finding is this referring to
On your
page
sheet.
16? Or we told us to go which one?
okay, they highlighted, okay, it's on page 20. It's finding PH6. On page 20 back there, you see it? It's highlighted.
Okay.
The first one that's highlighted. Everybody got it. I'm sorry, y'all. You got that? You got that, Ms. Williams? I see you still.
Right here,
Two
dear.
pages. I'm
Oh, I
sorry.
got it right there. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so that's that one. Again, HUD said it's okay for us to do this, and so now we got to get the board to say it's okay, and then we'll submit it to HUD, and they'll close that one out. Okay. Any questions on that?
No questions. Just want to make sure we're approving the right thing in the right
Yeah.
place. Okay, so on 23. Did you read? You good? Page 23, dear.
I got it.
Don't look to your right. Okay. Wanda, you good? Mr. Ira, you good?
Yeah, and I do want this resolution here is addressing, A, all of A. So, there you go.
All right. Commissioners, how do you feel? Are we comfortable?
I trust that Dr. Bradley has implemented the actions that you've taken and it supports it, so.
Yeah, so what we have to submit to HUD, what they found that we did not have that time, that we have to submit it, and then once they say, okay, this is okay, now we bring it to y'all.
So we've.
Yeah, we've already submitted it, yes, ma'am.
And you've heard back from HUD?
Yeah, we heard back from them on these, yes.
All right, very good. All right, I'll entertain a motion whenever you're comfortable, commissioners.
I move that we approve the PH6 annual inspection compliance and Ross grant monitoring finding. I said approve the inspection, I need to read the inspection.
Okay. All right, we have a proper motion and a second to approve the resolution addressing PH6 annual inspection compliance and Ross grant monitoring findings. Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? It's carried, sir.
So, then item B is you can find that on page 25. We need board's approval. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I need to go back to, hey, even though you approved that, I know some of you may have some questions of, where are we in closing these findings? Because it's a lot, it's a good bit of findings.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to give you all the latest, response from HUD where you can see what's closed and what's not closed. Where is that? Oh, right here in front. No, this is, sorry. Let me give you all the latest so you can see what's closed and what's not closed.
Yeah. You gonna go down and see what's closed and what's not,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you all.
each one,
Yeah, well, yeah, you have, they have a, here, pass that.
okay.
Pass this.
Put my papers on. I can find it.
I think there's one more.
This is all the same, right?
Yeah, all the same. You probably give.
Do we need one more?
Yeah, give one, yeah. Okay, and you see in the box there.
Mm-hmm.
In May of 2025, this is where this letter comes back from HUD telling us what's closed. All right?
March.
March of 2024, of what's closed and what was still open at that time. We have already submitted to HUD, a lot more of these things have been submitted to HUD, but I do want to remind y'all what happened in around June of 2025. You remember something called Doge?
Mm-hmm.
That basically cut most of the HUD people who respond to this.
Right.
Right.
And our field rep, Fatima, and all of them were forced to retire. And so we could not get a response back from HUD for about 6 to 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
We're just now getting responses back from them now. So if you want to know why we just now addressing some of this stuff, it's because basically what happened with those cutting all the staff and all the layoffs and all that stuff, we had nobody to respond. We submitted, but nobody responded. They just now responded back now.
Okay.
So we're picking up on this. So I just wanted to give y'all that backdrop. So you, just in case, in the back of your mind, you wonder what's been going on
So-
for the last year.
So this letter is dated though March 24, 2025. So are you saying that this information on page 1 is accurate as of today?
Yeah,
We still have that many items that are open.
we still have that many open, but we have already sent it into HUD for their review.
Everything on here that's not open. I mean, that is open. You've
Yeah.
sent it to HUD now.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we're waiting to hear back from HUD. And more than likely, when we hear back, it'll be closed, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
And if it's not, then we'll have to
Got
make
it.
whatever adjustments. But
Okay, sir.
we're working on it. So I just want to give y'all that.
Got it.
All right. So now we're on B, which is on that's the payment standards where that's on
Page 26, the resolution is page 26.
okay, but the standards are on page 25 where you can see the voucher payment standards. We're moving it to 110%. What that does is it gives the voucher holders more money to find, maybe they can rent a higher, apartments with higher rents. Okay? It gives, so for instance, all right, for zero efficiency was 948, and then now the payment, since we're going to 110%, their voucher is going to be $1,042 that they can go and say, get rent with $1,042 instead of now. And so 0 bedroom, they can afford more. 1 bedroom, you can see all of them going up, and you can see what the amounts are. 4 bedrooms is $1,747.
Okay.
So once you all approve this, then that just helps the voucher holders to be able to afford a more expensive apartment, which is hard to find these apartments now with what they were, the amount of money that they were working with. And the resolution is on page 26.
Any questions, my friends? Ms. Lowry? Wanda?
No question.
I'll now entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the 2026 housing choice voucher proposed statement.
Okay. Got it. We have a motion and a second to approve a resolution approving the 2026 Housing Choice Voucher Payment Standards. You ready for the question?
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion is carried. All right, section 6, the agency reports, asset management, contracts and maintenance, and finance.
All right, Ms. Manning is gonna do the reports for asset management and contracts and maintenance.
Status report. Since, the lawsuit. Currently at Pine Clyde and Lakota, we're at 97.06% occupancy. Church Hill, 84.34%. Oakland, 87.50%. Waverly, 95%. Bridgeland, 96%. Parkview Plaza, 98.33%. Creekside, currently at 11%. Scattered sites, 87.33%. Pine Acres, 92.50%. J.O. Smith, 95%. East Crest and McCall is 94.12%. Scattered sites 2, 100%. Overall, 86.77%. Pelican House, 95.05%. Griggs Avenue is 99.33%. Lakota Crossing, 99.64%. McGowan Commons, 99.64%.
And the explanation for, Creekside, 11%, you know, Creekside is vacant and has
Right.
been vacant, but we're still getting some money from, HUD for that, even though it's vacant. That's why that 11% is there.
Got it.
All right.
Moving to page 27, a brief synopsis activity report for the Housing Authority of Florence. Currently, there are no new insurance projects, construction contracts. Creekside, placed tile flooring in lobby, completed miscellaneous punch list items and final cleaning, replaced circular pump for hot water heaters, mounted all fire extinguishers, repaired water leaks under exterior concrete. Waiting for city to give a date when they will be back for final inspection. Church Hill, replaced 75 feet of sewer line. Bridgeland, re-roof, unit 111 Green Drive, and re-roofed 109 Green Drive. Scattered sites, we re-roofed and repaired decking at 2239 Clairview Drive. All cameras are working properly.
Okay. Is that it? Thank you very much, ma'am. All right, finance, our auditor.
So, this is, Brandon Wilkinson. He's the auditor from Aprio who performed, the audit for, year end 2024. And he's here to, he has a presentation that he wants to present to the board, about the audit.
Good Lord.
Got a lot of paper today, didn't we?
Is there an executive summary on this, or we gonna have to read War and Peace here?
It's on this presentation, and I can give you copies of the presentation once it's.
I'm calling Eric. Do we need him? Y'all got it? Oh, he got it. Okay.
Okay,
Fix it. Do I see on the side?
all right.
All right.
A man of multi-talents.
So first I want to thank the board for allowing me to come and present these financial statements and results. I've been in communication with Dr. Bradley since the conclusion of the audit, along with your council, over the findings of the audit. But it's good to kind of have a clear picture of what's going on with the authority for the board. So, again, I want to first thank Dr. Bradley for inviting us, and then also just a quick shout out, in case I forget, the team that helped us considerably while we were in the field with gathering information and documents, and I think they were all pretty new to the authority at that time when we were in the field, but Samantha, Elaine, and Christian, I don't know if they're still here or not, but very helpful in helping gather the information, doing the best they could in getting this audit completed. I'm Brandon Wilkerson. I'm the audit partner on the engagement. Jesus Rosales was here on site. Was the manager on the engagement. And then we have a senior named Dion who also helped us with the engagement. Along with, we had about 6 people in the field that aren't on here that were just helping us with field work, complete testing. So we'll start with a quick summary of the audit and how the engagement went. As an entity that receives federal funds, you're required to receive a single audit, which requires us to issue 3 audit opinions. We issue an audit opinion on your overall financial statements, whether they're fairly stated. We issue an opinion on internal controls over financial reporting, and we issue an audit related to your major programs. So on the audit of the financial statements, you were issued an unmodified opinion, which is the cleanest opinion you can get. So your financial statements were deemed to be fairly stated. Again, that's great work on the accounting part, your fee accountant. We were able to receive enough information and backup to what we were auditing that we had no issues with numbers related to financial statements. On your report on internal controls, we had to issue a material weakness related to some of the missing documentation we had on controls, and I think a lot of that aligns with what Dr. Bradley was talking about with the HUD report. I assume you're getting cleared up now, but we kind of came in right behind HUD, I think, after that one, so there wasn't a ton of time for cleanup and getting things corrected between HUD and us. And then we issued a qualified opinion on the audit of your major programs, which this year were MTW and Public Housing Capital Fund. That also relates to your, it's more related to your control issues related to some of the requirements of the compliance. But we're going to go through those, but just to give you a summary. So this is the CEPA for the Housing Authority as of 2024 year end. And you will see here the biggest expenditure you use is related to the Moving to Work demonstration program. This is a program that is becoming more popular across housing authorities across the country because it gives you a little bit more freedom on how you spend your federal dollars, whether that's in improving sites, whether it's giving tenants, providing assistance to tenants, or having public housing. So it's really, Moving to Work is a combination of 3 different programs. It's your HCB program, your capital funds program, and your public housing program. So you can see here, last year you had $10.4 million of expenditures related to that program, which is greater than 90% of all your federal funding. So that'll basically be a major program every year that we have to test as auditors. No matter who the audit firm is, that'll just trigger itself due to its sheer size. And in this given year, the previous auditor had issued a finding related to Public Housing Capital Fund, which that also triggers us to have to test that as major the following year. So this year, the Public Housing Capital Fund and the Moving to Work programs were your major programs that we went in and did required testing based on the compliance supplement, which is issued by HUD. So I like to tell when we're doing these presentations, we as auditors, we get a bad rap because we're the auditors and no one likes to see us, but we try to consider ourselves more consultants in trying to help mitigate these issues before they are problems. So we've been working with the Housing Authority and New Fee Accounting addressing the issues that we did find, as well as kind of at a certain point in time, we are a little bit of an arm of HUD. That's why you're required to have an audit. So we can act as an arm of HUD to issue these findings and kind of help the authority kind of get back any controls that might be lacking. So let's talk about financial results real quick. Right here is a quick snapshot of your balance sheet. Overall, you have a very healthy balance sheet. Your assets exceed your liabilities by almost 3 times. That's a strong financial position to be in. You can see that you had a decrease in overall cash within the authority, but still a healthy cash balance as of year end. that we see in normal housing authorities. And you can see the direct correlation in your liabilities that you're decreasing cash from year over year related to pay down of liabilities, of debt and or payables. Yes?
When you go through each one of these, would you please, let us know, is it anything to be concerned about? If it's not, go through it and you go to the next one, because it is healthy, but we want to know anything to be actually concerned about.
Okay, so on your balance sheet, nothing to be concerned about.
Okay,
That's the short answer on that one.
Okay.
Revenue, you can see here, again, your year-over-year revenue stayed about the same. Nothing to be concerned about here. Exactly what we were expecting as far as your HUD operating grants increasing. You receive more federal funding and you're moving to work program than the previous year, which is expected. And other than that, in capital fund, your capital fund grant program is decreasing. If you're concerned about that, is decreasing because you're getting out of the capital fund program and moving it all into your moving to work program. So it's kind of going up a line, and you can kind of see they kind of net wash out there. All right, expenses. The biggest changes in your expenses, it appears that you provided less tenant services potentially based on the financial statements. I don't know what could have caused that. It could have been a huge spike the year before. We're coming out of COVID. There's probably this 2023 we were coming out of COVID.
Creekside.
That's a huge difference.
Yeah. Creekside, remember all the Creekside assistance when people move into the hotels?
Yeah, that probably would be a big concern.
Okay, I got you. All right.
And again, with me not doing 2023, I don't know what was included in that big balance. That seems about right on tenant services for your size housing authority, just given our experience.
The 520 number.
Yeah, 520.
Okay, got it.
And then everything else stayed about flat. Again, that was the big change year over year. And the other thing we like to see is your housing assistance payments, which is the actual expense incurred to provide vouchers to tenants in the Florence area, increase. So you're moving to work, federal program money went up. We expect that expense to go up because you're providing additional housing to residents here. Next. So this will kind of get into the compliance part of the audit and the internal controls. So this is just an excerpt from the OME, again, issued by the federal government. What we're required to look at, I know it's very small, but 14.881 is the code for moving to work within HUD, and 14.872 is the code for capital fund programs. Both of these were tested as major, and across the top, and again, I can get you a copy of this presentation so you can see it. It talks about what applicable traits we need to look at. The big ones being our activities incurring through the project allowed through HUD's program. Those are the big ones, and our tenants eligible, that you're providing funding to our tenants eligible through HUD's guidelines. Those are the big picture items. So we can just talk now. So on the audit report, we kind of talked about your opinions. These are the matters that we would raise as concerns from a control standpoint, which again, I don't think are very different from the HUD report. So the biggest issue we found on site was we were having issues finding some of the documentation we were requesting, whether it was a lease file or additional backup in general. There just didn't seem to be a good document storage system in place, whether it was electronic or in a file room or whatever the case may be. It was very hard getting information read quickly. So that was kind of an all-encompassing. That's just an internal control finding that triggers a material weakness. And that is a concern not only for yourselves, but if HUD comes in and does a spot check. Sometimes HUD's coming in unannounced potentially, or very shortly announced and expecting you to be able to kind of turn around documents quickly. So just something to be aware of.
So did you give them some examples of what they need to clean up?
Oh yeah. We've had several meetings with, again, council and Dr. Bradley and the accounting team about suggestions we have about what was missing. It seemed, because normally what was missing seemed pretty consistent across the board. for Florence, and so we went through kind of the remediation, if you will,
Got it.
of the problems.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And included in the report, you'll see our suggestion in the findings is the last 5 or 6 pages of the actual audit report you have in your hands.
Okay.
There are suggestions within the audit report of what we suggest, our recommendation is, and then as well as what the Housing Authority's response was to our recommendation, kind of what they're going to do, kind of a corrective action plan.
Got it.
Okay.
The second finding, number 2, was number 2 and number 3 are very similar in nature. Moving to work has a function of capital fund program, and number 3 was related directly to the capital fund program that was still existing. Again, this was a documentation issue where, again, we don't know, I can't say, we have no question of whether the costs are real that were incurred. Our problem from an audit standpoint is we just need to be able to test them to make sure that they were accurate and active or appropriate for the program. We would make selections on your capital fund program, and we could see the funds being approved by HUD. We could see the funds being released by HUD. But there was some lack in the backup for what costs were being incurred with those funds that were being received. The biggest ones we noticed was you can do a pre-draw. So before you've incurred an expense, that's completely allowed. But there is a requirement to 3 to 5 days turnaround of those funds coming in to be spent back out, and then you maintaining the documentation of where was the money spent and what was it for, and here's your invoice support. That 2 and 3 are the exact same findings, just different programs, so we had to do them separately. Is that everybody good on those 3? Okay.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
The fourth one, there are certain, we'll call them permanent documents that are related to the Moving to Work program you're required to have on hand for us to review. This one was the annual contributions contract. We just never were able to get our hands on it. So it's a yes or no question, so that issues a finding if we're not able to find it. I do think after the fact, we might have found it a month or so after the audit concluded, but I'll kind of go into why we issued quickly on June 30th to get something filed with HUD, because it's better to file with the findings than not file at all. And we talked about that with Dr. Bradley and council. It's just they score the Housing Authority, and a no issuance is an automatic 0, where having something filed in there does not trigger an automatic 0. So that's preferred in our opinion. And HUD is not in the business of granting extensions these days. They used to be a little bit more lenient about that, but it's got to be a pretty extreme circumstance. We've seen housing authorities wiped out by hurricanes ask for extensions, and they're just getting denied. So it's pretty wild how cutthroat it's become. And then, okay, number 5 here relates to your HCB, your public housing programs. We have to test a certain amount of leases within each program. There are just certain documents missing within tenant files that are required to be in the files, whether it's a copy of someone's driver's license, whether it's a copy of an EIB form, whether it's copies of just various things. There's a lot of things that have to be in these tenant files. So there was just we were able to get our hands on all the tenant files. We just were not able to get it within each tenant file. There were certain things missing that concerned us. And then finally, the last one, we didn't really have, this is more HUD's deal. We just have to put it in our report. This is at the time of the audit being issued, there were 18 open findings in the HUD report. I think what you're still clearing out. So we don't go back and check behind HUD, but since HUD looks at the report and knows we're supposed to be doing what HUD's doing, we have to issue what they've already got it out there in the public domain. So just do our part. So again, that's the conclusion of the audit. Those are the areas I would, as a board, would want to focus and just make sure you get your controls around that, integrated. And then we've been working with Catherine here, who's, if you count it, and things have been going very well. I think we're about ready to crank up this upcoming audit. So we're looking forward to it. Again, we don't want to be a big bad auditor, so if there's anything we can do to help with anything, just let us know. We're here to be as helpful as possible.
You can be the big bad auditor, just help us out.
Well, that's fine.
It's out, not fires, that's fine.
And the diagnosis?
Again, I think as of now, knowing without having looked at the next year's file with next year's audits stuff, it feels like things are going much better. Again, we're getting information. It's clean coming from Catherine's group, and she's helping her team here internally as well. Again, these are definitely, I don't want to sugarcoat these. These are definitely issues that you want to make sure you're getting corrected. Because if, as you know, HUD's coming in and HUD comes in and does a field review. These are things, we're doing what they're doing, and we're a little bit nice about it as far as just trying to advise on what should be corrected and updated. So overall, the Housing Authority financially seems to be operating very well.
Okay.
And you just listening to the board presentation, you have several deals in the process, RAD conversions, all kinds of things where you're providing housing to the local area. So from operations of like the development of housing, I think that everything's great. I think just getting kind of the admin task, if you will, of just making sure the accounting function and really the compliance function within for HUD requirements would be my takeaway from the audit. Would be my concerns.
Okay. All right.
Any other questions?
I think that we are satisfied with your report, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so very, very much. All right, we're down now to section 7. Johnson Controls is here, but I gotta.
Okay, yes, sir. Johnson Controls is here, and at 1 o'clock today, they're having a workshop, and all board members are invited to attend the workshop if you want to, just to find out what Johnson Controls is doing. Do you want to mention something about that?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, so we have completed a lot of our analysis, and we're gonna present, it's still preliminary, it hasn't been finalized, but basically the scope of work that can be funded under the program. And so the purpose of the workshop today is to go through that scope of work, to show you, the incentives that are going to help pay for the program. And the next step for us is basically then to finalize the program based on that scope of work. And so we would like the board to attend, and that way you could give us feedback if you're on board with the scope of work, or we need to make adjustments or anything like that. We'd like your feedback so that, because the anticipation would be then, the next thing we're going to do is fill out all the HUD documentation, complete the contract documents based on that scope of work. So it's just like everybody in agreement before we go through that exercise of completing all the documents.
Okay.
Because the next phase would be bringing it to you for approval, and then for submittal to HUD for their approval as well.
Very good.
So, yeah, the workshop is at 1. I think we've got it scheduled for 2 hours, but even if you could join us for like the first 30 or 45 minutes, you would probably see what the scope is for sure, and we'd be able to answer any questions you have.
Okay.
I apologize, but Linda Bar Williams, I won't be able to make it today, because I didn't know, but I have another meeting already scheduled, I'm sorry.
I understand,
Yeah.
and if you would like, if you would like some information, I'd be happy to.
I would love that information, I think all the board members would love it.
So we'd be happy to share the information with
I might be
you,
able to.
however
Yeah.
is best, but anybody that can attend, we would love to do that.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, so we need to move into executive session for a few minutes.
I move that we move into executive session.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Executive session it is. Okay, beloved, we are back from executive session.
Just give me one moment, because I gotta go start recording that.
Sure, my friend. Not a problem.
Exactly. Give me exactly 15 seconds.
Okay.
Take your time, my friend.
Slow up now. Count down.
No way you get over that 15 seconds.
No.
That's
Be out of breath when he gets there.
You gotta go over to the corner of the building right there.
Can you tell when the recording starts?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right, very good. Okay, beloved, we are back from executive session. I'll now entertain a motion to end the executive session.
I move that we end executive session.
We have a motion and proper second to end executive session and go back into our regular session. In executive session in accordance to the information outlined in section 7, covered all of that, and we discussed the approval of RAD conversion for Parkview Plaza, and I will now entertain a motion.
I move that the Board of Commissioners approve the resolution authorizing the conversion of Parkview Plaza to the Rental Assistance Demonstration Program and authorize staff to take all necessary actions to implement and complete the RAD conversion process in accordance with HUD requirements.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a proper motion and a second on the motion regarding RAD for Parkview. You ready for the question?
Yes.
Yeah.
All in favor? All opposed? Motion carried. All right, so we did the possible vote, and all hearts and minds are clear?
Yes.
I'll now entertain a motion to end this meeting.
I move that we end the meeting.